Welcome to ABC Action News at 6. I'm Isabel Rosales in for Wendy.
And I'm Jamison Euler. We begin tonight with less than 3 weeks to go until the presidential election. Both parties are mounting forces on the ground hired to wage a war behind the scenes if necessary come election day. A war most voters don't know much about or pay attention to. But as I-Team investigator Katie LaGrone shows us, their fight can decide a candidate's victory or defeat.
Call it the silent campaign behind any election, and they are the often unknown, unseen minds behind it.
I think it's going to be a quiet evening in Florida.
I hope nothing will be the equivalent of the hanging chair.
Fort Lauderdale-based Mitchell Berger and Tallahassee's Mark Dunbar are longtime election lawyers in Florida, hired by campaigns to ensure voting systems work, voting laws are followed, and voter ballots counted.
It's hours of boredom and moments of terror.
Terror they both remember well. In 2000, Dunbar helped represent the Bush campaign. Berger, former Vice President Al Gore, when Florida's infamous hanging chads and butterfly ballots forced unprecedented lawsuits, recounts, and a final decision for the nation's highest office by its highest court.
That was not fun.
20 years later, Florida's election technology won't be the issue, they say. Instead, Berger, who's now part of the Biden-Harris legal team, expects any court battle here to focus on the unprecedented surge in mail-in ballots.
If people are attempting to challenge your signature or challenge your ballot after it has been mailed, there will be people who will stand up for you.
Dunbar's focused on deadlines, specifically for votes by mail. Questions over voting deadlines are at the core of more than a dozen pre-election lawsuits filed nationwide.
When voters have to get those ballots in the mail back to the supervisors.
Absentee ballots are going to play a tremendous role in the election.
FSU Associate Professor Michael Morley studies election lawsuits. 2020, he says, is already making court history.
This is the first election cycle where we've had hundreds of cases before the election challenging virtually every aspect.
How Florida swings this time around remains to be seen. Urban counties with more voters will likely remain hot precincts for poll watchers and legal teams. Gearing up for a night fueling so much projection, anticipation, and hope. This election is decided by voters and not lawyers and courts.
Hoping that all we're doing is drinking beer and eating pizza.
In 2000, we had jets fueled and ready to go. There were a lot of jets who were moving around, moving lawyers all around. I don't think you have to worry about jets this time around.
And the closer the election results, the harder the court battle. So the more votes, the more likely that gap widens, leaving less room for those long, lengthy, painful court fights. I'm I-Team investigator Katie LaGrone taking action for you.